to start I want to start by saying that I have a sister and a half sister. And my dad left when I was 6 years old, left the house, and my mom told me, oh, he's just taking a break. And that was like the first image I had about my dad, or about fathers on the basis like, okay, fathers just take a break from time to time. Then he came back, and then he left again, and that was definitive. I knew that was definitive because like my mom actually, I could see in like her interaction with us, my sister and I, and how she would cry all the time but try to hide it and stuff like that. And so I guess by his absence, I had to find a balance in like having him in my life, but on another side with another woman. And then he, eventually started another life. And now I have a half sister. So I guess now that I'm 19, the relationship that I have with my dad has taught me to not necessarily rely on like male figure. And that's how my whole like teenager life and still today, I was looking for like I was looking for affection in the wrong places.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's something that's kind of like hard for me to relate to. My dad was always in my life. I remember like probably one of the first memories I have with my dad was I must have been, and it's crazy that, you remember this at this age. I think it was even before I started school. But I remember I fell asleep on the couch. In the living room. And I remember my dad came, must have been watching TV or something. My dad came and he picked me up and he brought me to like my bedroom. So that's just one of the experiences to show that like he's always been in my life, even now, getting ready to graduate and things like that. My father's always been present. And so the way that shaped me is that it kind of taught me that, as a man, I need to take care of my business. I need to be present. That's kind of how the impression left on me. So yeah.
Yeah, I've never had my dad carry me to my bed, right? So I know things about him, don't know him. Seen pictures of him, but I just don't know the man. So for me, it's always been weird. I know for me, I've stood it before, like I don't like going to parks. Because when I see like little kids with their dads, I always ask like, why didn't you want me, man? Just stuff like that. It's like, I just don't want to go to no park. I just don't, because I see that, and it's like this little tweezer at my heart, and it just kind of pokes, and then it turns, and it's like, man, must be nice.
Wow.
Well, like yourself, like a lot of my closest friends, their dads weren't present in their life, and so I know I talk about my relationship with my dad a lot, actually, because we talk on the phone a lot, and he's like, I talk to him about a lot of my problems, and so they're like, wow, you're that close with your dad? Like, that's something I've never experienced before. And it's funny, because my dad, like, his dad actually left when he was like 4 and had never been in his life, and he had other siblings, and he basically had to raise them with his mom, my grandma, and they say like you either turn out to be like your dad or you are determined to be better. And I just really appreciate the fact that my dad, he made the conscious effort and took the initiative to make sure that he was 100 times better than his dad ever was. Like for me and my brother, we had the best childhood. Like it's weird to say that, like, or it's weird to think that him ever not being a part of my life. Like, he's a really big part of the reason why I'm the person that I am today. He's let me be like independent, and he's taught me how to change a tire or to check my oil, and he's just been that dad for me that like the dad that a girl needs. Yeah. So, well, question, Max, have you ever talked to your dad? Or
Wow.
Well, I have a question. How do you, because, I mean, I've seen you on campus, like, from what I know, you're pretty, like, you're decent as in like personality and your character. Like you've preached at Oakwood University Church and different churches. Like you've been a leader of AYM for a whole year. Like you have a girlfriend now. You know, like how do you have your mom is in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you only had your mom.
Mm-hmm.
So can you explain how did you become Max with just the presence of a mother without a father?
I don't know. all I know is that my mom, I tried her best to be mom and dad. You know, it's only could do so much, but she tried her best. But definitely the Max that's here at Oakwood, wasn't the Max in Florida, which is what a lot of people that are here don't ever see, and they will never see. It's the people back home who know who Max was. And so my mom just did her best. It just worked, did her best to try to teach me how to be a man, but it's kind of hard for a woman to teach a little boy how to be a man because she's not a man. I think for me, I've just been blessed to have certain men who picked me up along the way.
Okay.
I think the biggest, most important man in my life, his name is Sam Pascal. I mean, I've talked about him almost every year. Sam Pascal III. So quick summary, I moved to Orlando to go to a private academy in Orlando because I was getting in a bit of trouble back at Tampa, Florida. So I go to this academy, and it was a boarding school, right? And so the dean of the boys' dorm is Sam Pascal. So he's a die-hard, beat your chest, I bleed, gold and blue Oakwoodite. Like that's everything in his office was Oakwood. All the gear was Oakwood. Everything was Oakwood, Oakwood, Oakwood. And I'm like, I don't know what Oakwood is, but that's all I saw. And so during my time at FLA, Forest Lake Academy, got suspended, got expelled. I got expelled 2 weeks before graduation. And, you know, there was a situation that was happening. Let's just say that I wasn't the only one involved, but I was the one getting the brunt of the guilt. I'm the one that got caught. It happens, right? And so he basically put his neck on the line for me and was like to the administration, listen, he's wrong. Clearly, he's wrong. There's no shadow of doubt. But the way you guys are handling it is also wrong. So if you guys kick him out, I quit.
Wow, that is really crazy.
To me, that was crazy because, first of all, not related to me. Like, there's nothing alike about us, right? So you're quitting your job, right? If you know anything about deans live in the what? Dorm.
Yeah.
He's married.
Oh my gosh.
So you're gonna
Risked it
sacrifice.
all. He risked it all.
You're gonna sacrifice your money, your stability for your home, your wife's security for, and 17-year-old Hispanic boy who doesn't seem to get it right, and also doesn't care to get it right.
Wow.
I was like, I've never seen anything like that in my life. Why do you care so much? And he just took, and again, ever since I got there, he's always taking me under his wing. Obviously, because of him, I came to Oakwood. He took maybe 5 days off of work, drove me up here himself, handed me, in a sense, to what we consider, who we know as Chaplain Man and her husband. They started taking care of me when I got here, right? Robert, man, we call him Pop. He's been another influential man in my life. But it's people like that. It was like, that's what a man must look like.
Wow. And that's crazy, like hearing that, and then like Savannah, like just contrasting that, comparing that with your experience. Like, so, number one, how does that influence how you view men, period? And number two, how do you think that influences what you look for in a man, like potentially like in a relationship or something like that? How does your father's influence and everything that he's done, how does that kind of just shape your view on what it means like for you?
I would say that I do look for qualities that my dad possesses, and like who I want to date, and like for the future and everything. Like my dad, he's a very patient man. He's not he doesn't have a quick temper. I look for that. He's very spiritual. I look for that as well. And he just Honestly, he just taught me that not only like the qualities to look for in a man, but also like that I need to be my own independent woman. That's why he taught me the things that he taught me, and he's like instilled in me like a lot of lessons that that I needed to learn on my own, and he just really taught me that I don't need a man to complete me and to be myself. And so that's something that I really appreciate my dad for doing, definitely, for really just teaching me how to be my own woman and independent. And just, yeah, a man, he's there, he's nice, and
He cool.
yeah, he's cool. Like, it's cool to like want him, but I don't need him. Like, I am my own person completely. And if I don't need you to do these things for me, like, I am self-sufficient, and yeah, I can do this by myself for sure.
That's what's up.
So, would you say that you don't need a dad, or like would a father figure be like suffice? Like, yeah, because you know there are different types of people that come in your life or whatever that can that I wouldn't say replace your dad, but like I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that like if you didn't have your dad, would a father figure or multiple father figures, would they be okay with you or suffice, or do you think that there's something that a dad necessarily has that a father figure doesn't?
I think that constant male presence of a father, like just having that one dude that you call your dad, I think you can't replace that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't replace that. Just coming from my experience, like there were times, especially growing up, and I'm starting to see it now, like where my father and I, we didn't meet eye to eye. And I'm coming to understand that a lot of times that's because I reflect him in more ways than I thought. Like it's scary, like coming here to college with my dad. You know, my dad attended Oakwood too. And it's scary coming here and people that knew him are like, yo, your father would have said it just that way. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like your father, yeah, he said it just like, he acted just like that. I'm like, don't say that. That's scary. To me, you can't escape that. You can't change that. Of course you can, you know, you have to you're caught up between this is good and this could be better. And because I don't have this, like, I'll just take, like multiple, having, and praise God for those males that take on the role of father figure. Praise God for them. Because you need that figure, that father figure, that male figure presence. But you can't replace, that's biologically, this is the person that literally gave me half of my DNA. You know what I'm saying? And this is who, I mean, biologically, this is half of who I am. You know what I'm saying? And so, you can't take that away. That's just my perspective, coming from, with my father, just from that. But I actually had a question for you. So, like, based on that whole line, like, kind of the same thing that I asked to Savannah, like, seeing that your father wasn't present at some point, or he was present at first, and then at some point, like, he deviated, and definitely having him, with another family now, just going off and kind of starting another life where he's the father to somebody else. Like, can you just kind of open up on that? Like, how did that, because definitely that's a...
Well, at first, because my dad left so early, so the second time when it was definitive, when he left, it was the time where I understood things, where, my mom was still trying to protect me. Oh, it's okay, everything will be fine. It's like she was trying to make it seem like it was a normal thing that he left. And it was the time where, I was like 11 years old, like 10 years old. I'm like, okay, Mom, this is not okay. All my friends at home, all my friends at school, they have their dads, and I don't. It's been a few months now. Where's Dad? It's not a break, And I was like, okay, Dad is gone. And now he's with someone else. And at first I was like, wow, this lady stole my dad from me, stole my dad from my mom. Like, and it was so hard, guys, it was so hard to accept her. It was so hard to even accept that baby that my dad had with this lady, to accept her as my own blood, because she has the same dad as me. And at first, it was so hard because, I was, jungling from mom's house and dad's house, and all the financial issues, and my dad leaving the church, and hearing different things from, oh yeah, your dad was like this, and your dad was like this, and then hearing different things, oh, your dad is a great man, oh, your dad this. I'm like, okay, I'm really trying to understand who my dad is and understand who he is to me, even though he left me. Why did he left me? Why did he found someone else? Why was my mom not enough? Why, God? Why did you make this happen? And so when I realized that that was gonna be my life, that I was gonna have a step family, I asked God. I was like, God, put this love that I don't have in my heart because I don't like this lady. I don't like her. And I think that the baby, her being in my life, made it easier for me to love the lady that my dad is with, and made it easier to love the family because having a step family means you have to celebrate those holidays together, like they giving you gifts, you have to accept, you have to be smiling, you have to fake it. And I had literally had to fake it to make it to the point that now I accept her. Now I see her, and I that's my stepmother. But at first I hated her because I was like, she's the one that stole my dad from my household. Wow. She's the one that stole my dad from me. Like, I want my dad, and it's
crazy.
It's not easy. It's not easy, but I think that as a believer, God has taught me to forgive, and He has taught me to love like He loved me. So yeah, I have a stepsister, and I love her to death. I don't even consider her as a stepsister. When people ask me how many siblings you have, I say I have 2. So people say, I'll have one sister and a stepsister. I just say I have 2 sisters because she's the blood of my blood, even though we don't have the same mother. And we don't have the same religion, because my dad left church. So it's just, I think time and God has helped me to heal from my dad being in another home and accepting that.
Yeah, it's crazy because my dad has another wife.
That's crazy.
And a kid. They're in El Salvador. My dad's originally Salvadorian, which nobody knows. Because I always claim what? Dominican.
Yeah.
I don't claim that I'm half Salvadorian. Wow. But I'm a whole half Salvadorian. They're in El Salvador. Little girl Kayla, she's 4 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
And what's crazy is I know this because so like my mom knows, right? My mom has talked with him before. And she's always saying, the little girl's always like, where's my hermano?
Wow.
Where's my hermano? She was telling me, my mom was like, one day, I guess the little girl came home and she's like, to my dad, I have an hermano, right?
Wow.
Wow.
I have a brother.
So she knows.
She's seen pictures of me.
Okay.
I have an hermano, right? And she's like, I was telling the kids at school, I have an hermano. They don't believe me. I have an hermano, right, Dad?
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's weird. It's a weird feeling because it's like, when I learned about it, I'm like, I'm not saying I don't like you, little girl. But and I don't want to, it sounds weird. Like, I have weird feelings. Like, I don't know what to, I've been a single child all my life.
Yeah. Don't know what to feel.
It's just been me and Mama Dukes. Like, I don't know what it is to be an older son or the middle child or the baby. I am the single boy. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So I feel it where it's like, how am I supposed to feel towards you? It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to hate you.
Yeah.
I can't say I love you. Like, it's just weird, you feel me?
Oh, man.
And even like, what I'm saying, like continuing your train of thought, like how, you growing up as Patrick, you're realizing that you're becoming more and more like Mr. Bogey himself. Like growing up, there was things about me that I did, said, acted, ate, the way I sleep, it's all him. Wow. And I have no idea.
Yeah.
And it's like all these little things, like a lot of people say that me and my mom look alike. But she's like, yo, little boy, in terms of your character and your personality, you are just like him. And I don't know where you picked this stuff up if you didn't grow up with him. And it's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, what? Like,
DNA.
I'm a mini him.
Sheesh.
But what's crazy, like the gag is that with all that stuff, it's like, dang, I don't know me.
Yeah.
You was like, yo, half of me is him. I don't know I don't know this half of my body. I don't know this half of me.
Wow.
And picking back up of what you were saying, I feel like with like us people that don't necessarily knew their dad or didn't have their dad at all, I feel like we need to take the strength from God to tell ourselves that, it's okay. I know that even though my dad is not here, my identity is in God, and because God is in my life, this is who I am. This is who I am, and I'm gonna testify, and I'm gonna be who I am, and I'm gonna live my life in spite of the absence of a father, and in spite of the many things that I may not know that I'm supposed to know.
So my dad, like I said, his dad left when he was 4, and he hadn't talked to him all his life. My dad's dad, so my grandfather, he wanted to reconcile with my dad. He wanted to talk to him and everything. And I would say, I don't want to say that's like a fault of my dad, but that's something that that he definitely had to work on. He didn't want to talk to him. He didn't want to talk to his dad.
Wow.
And so then my grandfather, he got cancer, and he still didn't want to talk to him. And all the way up until he died, Dad still didn't talk to him.
Wow.
He went to the funeral, but he refused to talk to him. So that just leads me to say, like, if your dad wanted to reconcile with you and like talk to you and like try to be in your life now, like, would you be up to that?
You want to know what the gag is? He found me on WhatsApp, and he has sent me voice memos.
Oh wow! Did you listen to them?
And guess who's still on delivery?
Wow.
Oh man.
Whew.
Wow.
Since we keeping it a G, guess who's still on delivery?
Wow.
So you know how like on WhatsApp, right? When you send pictures, you have to download the pictures first, because at first they're blurry.
Yeah.
Guess who still hasn't downloaded them?
Wow. Man.
Just there, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, player. And I'm like, man, I should delete this app.
Wow.
But so I just can't delete it. I'm like, man. There he is. I'm like, well, all right. I don't even want to click on the picture. Like, man, I'm about to see this man. Like, I'm about to see how he looks. I see just how he looks. About to see this little girl who's supposed to be my little sister. Probably going to see stepmom. Probably going to hear his voice. Oh, no. But I can already imagine. I can already imagine what his voice sounds like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, okay.
Wow.
I have 2 questions for you. So first, that gives me chills because I'm like, man, like looking from my perspective, I don't wanna not be thankful. You know, a lot of kids out there that are even younger than me their dad is not even alive. You know, so I'm thankful even though my parents are divorced. You know, God, I take it. But like, because you say you haven't opened the messages and stuff like that. Are you ever gonna open them? Like how do you feel? How do you feel? Like looking from now, let's say you have kids 20 years later.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think it would be like good for you as Max and for future Max to open those messages and actually start something?
Can I
You
interject?
have something.
Yeah, because I can't speak for my dad, and like I'm not even man, so I don't know how this feels, but I know that a lot of, because me and my dad, we kind of talked about it, a lot of like what he was saying to me was that his dad had no part in the amazing man that he is now. Like, why should I want to talk to him? Like what is he gonna have to say to me? Like, sorry, my dad is 60 now. So what is he going to say to me? Like, after all of these years, is he sorry that I wasn't there, or I wish I was part of your life, or like, how are you? Like, I'm the sole reason for how I am today. Like, you didn't teach me any of this. So what could you possibly have to say for like say to me that could help me in any way? Because I did this all by myself. My kids are this great because of me. Like, I have my own job. You didn't teach me how to check my engine or change a tire or how to be a man. Like, so why should I talk to you? But yeah.
So okay, so now hearing what you're saying, I'm asking you, and I guess I'm asking you, but like, I'm asking your dad through you. Like, do you think, because your dad was like in his 60s, you said, and you're like 20 something, right?
Yeah.
So now, do you think that do you need a dad? Do we need fathers? Because you made it. Like, I mean, your dad made it. He's in his 60s. He hasn't talked to your grandfather, to his dad.
That's it.
There are people in this world who you know what I'm saying? We salute our veterans, right? And they lose a limb, a leg, and they can live perfectly fine lives. At the end of the day, I don't care how great of a mechanical engineer you may have in your corner. No robotic leg will ever replace a real leg. I don't care what you say. I don't care.
Wow.
So maybe the question isn't, do we need fathers? Maybe the question is, can we survive without them? And the answer is yes.
Yes, yeah.
But
So-
that's the problem.
Yeah.
We're just surviving. Yeah, man. If you think about it, even right, or let's go with the imagery of someone who has a prosthetic leg. We consider them disabled.
Yeah.
I am a disabled man.
Wow.
Your dad, he will never admit it probably, is a disabled man. We're disabled. One way or another, we're not at 100%. So maybe we fake it till we make it.
Yeah.
And I think most of us do a pretty good job at doing that.
Survival.
But we survive.
Yeah. Survival.
Because there'll always be something in here that isn't right. So we're just a whole bunch of disabled men.
Okay, so I have a last question. I'm sorry. So, what would you say to like a little boy or a little girl, whoever's actually watching this video? What would you say to, that little person that is, fatherless? What is one thing that you would tell them
Wow.
that you wish someone told you as a fatherless kid?
Man, I don't know if I could fit it into one phrase. All I can tell them is, okay, I come from a single parent home, right? We lived in government housing all our lives, seen some things, been through some things. I'm the first to graduate from college.
Yep.
I'm the first in my family to be middle class. Right? I will be the first to not get a divorce.
Yep.
Amen.
Right?
Claim it.
I will be the first to have kids and be in their lives. Like, yeah, the cycle breaks with you, Playboy. Like, guy or girl, like, the cycle breaks with you. Like, I know, I get it. Like, I get it. I've been there. I get it. But the cycle breaks with you. Like, you can do it. Because I know for me, on both ends of the family, my mom didn't grow up with her dad.
Wow.
My dad didn't grow up with his dad. They didn't grow up with their dads. And it's like, I don't even want to know how much further that goes.
Yeah.
So it's like, today,
Stop
the
that.
Gomez Vasquez legacy can start fresh.
That's good.
So for me, again, I don't know how to put it into like one bold, Twitter caption phrase, but it's just like, it can stop with you today.
That's Twitter right there.
Yeah,
Can't even fit into
you
one
know what I'm
tweet.
saying? Like, for real, I'm not, like, you gonna have your mess ups.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But today, it stops.
Yeah.
You can turn it around,
Yeah.
make it better for the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, I plan on, my kids will never know. Like, I hope that my kids end up like you. That they can be, daddy's little girl, or, yeah, my dad is dope, this, that, and the third. Like, yeah, because you will never know.
Yeah.
And I don't even want you to ever know.
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to personally thank you for watching this video. I hope that you not only enjoyed it, but were also impacted by the experiences shared at this table today. By all means, please leave us a like, comment, tell us what you think, how you felt, share some of your experiences with us as well. And if you enjoyed this content, would like to see more of it, by all means, hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this every week. And last but not least, of course, happy Father's Day.